Hey guys, meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. My first stop is a brief look at where we are to date, season to date, total snowfall. Alyeska up there is killing everybody, 223. Alta Snowbird in the lower 48 at 138 to 146, leading the pack. Snowmass in Colorado at 112, and a bunch of resorts under 100 inches. Now, lower on the list, the Sierra. Obviously, you've been out of the flow now for a long time. We're probably going to have to wait until 12/18 to start to get new snow there. But also there's Taos. Now, it is snowing in Taos. It's going to snow through 12/14 there. That's one of my areas. If you want new powder, you got to go to southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. So here are my bullet points. We're really what I'm calling the western doldrums pattern. It's so dry right now in Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Utah, California, except for this one southern track low moving through southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. That's it, 12/13, 12/14. We might have a nor'easter run up the east coast on 12/18. There's a strong low that comes out of Florida and tracks up the eastern seaboard. The problem is it's so warm, it's probably going to be mainly rain. California stays dry until 12/18. So look at my spider chart. Odds of best snow next 5 to 7 days. It is really meager. There's not a lot of purple high on the web here. Wolf Creek, southern Colorado, northern New Mexico would be higher on the list. Up into parts of Banff and BC, also higher on the list. Those are really the only places I'm favoring over the next 5 to 7 days. Let me take you into water vapor satellite imagery here and just give you an idea of what we're looking at. So big low rolling up into Canada out of the picture. There's our southern track low right there that is snowing in southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. That actually becomes, that energy becomes that East Coast storm system on late 12/17 and 12/18. Now this low will pull an interesting maneuver. It will continue, this whole trough here will continue to drop into this neck of the woods. And it's going to sit there for a while and spin, and by about late 12/17 and 12/18, it'll start to push a wave of moisture into the Sierra. And then slowly, after 12/20, 12/22, the pattern may start to break, and we could see some more storminess across the west. We'll break out of that doldrums pattern. Here's my forecast radar and satellite. So by the time we get into Thursday morning, you can see the snow in blue. Southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. By the afternoon hours, the low starts to break and it will move away. And by Friday, we're just in quiet conditions for a few days. So it's just a waiting game with most of the moisture being directed up into BC and towards the Banff area. And there's not a lot, but there's some. Here comes that trough hitting California. We'll start to push snow into Mammoth and Tahoe, but we're talking about high snow levels here, high rain snow line as this moves in, because it's got all this Pacific moisture. And the polar jet's way to the north. In fact, let me show you what the jet does look like moving down the road. So this is 12/17. There is a trough, but we're talking about potentially coming in on the southern branch of the jet. So it's just flooding the west with warm air. The northern branch is running way up into Canada, trapping all that cold air to the north. Here is 12/22, looking way down the road. So potentially the southern branch gives us a little trough coming into Southern California, moving towards Utah, Colorado, and the Intermountain West. That's way down the road, and it's still going to be warm on 12/22. The polar jet's still got all that cold air locked up into Canada. All right, let me show you my totals. So 12/14 through 12/18, again, leftover snow on 12/14 in southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. A lot of these places are going to get 4 to 12 inches of accumulation from Wolf Creek down into Ski Santa Fe and Taos, less elsewhere. The snow, again, you see in California doesn't arrive until late 12/17 and into 12/18 with high snow levels. Otherwise, you got to go to BC, Banff to really get any new snow accumulation. Let me show you what's happening out to the east. This is 12/17. You can see there's jet support. There's an area of low pressure being carried out of Florida, and it's going to run up the east coast, but it's very warm. We're not talking about a big trough with this and cold air. Not this time. In fact, here is the forecast radar on 12/18 at 5:45 in the morning. And I mean, 99% of everything you see there is all rain up the eastern seaboard. So that does affect the totals. I really don't have much here. Looking at the entire period, there just isn't much accumulation there in the northeast. You might have a changeover occur on 12/18. to some light snow accumulation, but it's mainly going to be rain. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in here to this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Appreciate it, and take care.